What about the legislature? You're just one man. Well, I wanted to bring some other men up here that have been helping Governor Sanford, that are fighting for reform in South Carolina, and I want to let them say a few words. Thank you.
All right.
Pleased to be up here in Spartanburg today. I'm Chris Crawford. I'm from over in Florence. But what you find uniting us isn't geography, it's ideology. And Lee Bright's a guy that's been out there and working for smaller government, more effective government, better workers' compensation system, better legal justice system for years. 2 years ago when I ran for office, based on those shared ideas, Lee reached out in Florence and did everything he could to make sure that Governor Sanford and the reformers in South Carolina had one more vote out there on the House floor. I'm here today to say you have an opportunity in Spartanburg to send us another guy who, when it comes time to elect judges, when it comes time to make sure that the workers' compensation system makes it possible to have good business in South Carolina, is going to vote right. And in the Senate, where there's only 46 of those fellows, that really, really matters. The other thing that I would like to address while I've got a moment is something that I was troubled to read in the paper today, was the idea that somehow this coalition and the differences here are based on the topic of school choice. And I'm not going to enter into that fray. I'm going to direct you to the record. And if you'll just go back and look at the House Journal for March 28th and 29th of 2007, everybody's votes are in there. And you'll see that Scott Talley voted the same way I did that day, same way that Eric Bedingfield, standing here with me, did that day. That is not the point. This is not about school choice. This is about the size, the structure, and the function of government and our legal justice system, and whether or not we're electing conservative judges to the bench in South Carolina.
Yes.
If somebody can address that, I'm going to turn that over to Senator Danny Burton.
All right.
Chris. Appreciate that. Thanks, folks. Good morning. It's good to be with you. I'm your neighbor just to the south, down in Lawrence County. And I've been privileged and honored to represent. We are at a critical crossroads in South Carolina. We are, and we're just a representative group here, these legislators that you see this morning. We are at a critical crossroads of not just change, but significant change for the taxpayers, for the citizens, for our family, friends, and neighbors here in South Carolina, to bring back a responsive, functional government to the people that deserve it. Those are the people that pay the bills. And when you're in the legislative arena and you're fighting day in and day out to see some of these changes, and you get close, but you don't necessarily get across the finish line, you start to wonder, is it worth the effort? But then again, you think about your family, friends, and neighbors. And then you get to the election cycle and you think, what can I do, even outside my district? And that's what's motivated me today. I believe we have the opportunity here in Spartanburg. And as I think about the mentality of making an appeal to the folks of Spartanburg, the last thing I would want to do is try to instruct somebody how to vote. But I do want to make an appeal to the people of Spartanburg. Send us some help. Send us some help at the State House. We're that close to being able to bring to bear enough policy changes to have a responsive, functional government again in South Carolina. And thank goodness for the leadership of Governor Sanford. And when Governor Sanford came to Spartanburg yesterday to stand foursquare with Lee Bright, you know, I just couldn't stand back. I wanted to be here this morning. I'm thankful for the opportunity. I've known Lee for several years, and you have that intuitive feel. You just know when somebody's going to step up to the plate, when somebody's going to be there and not run, when somebody's going to be there with you in the trenches on the hard votes, without equivocation. I feel very, very strongly and with great conviction that if I can make any difference by bringing my little bit of testimonial to what we need in Columbia, it's worth it for me to be here this morning. And have to, in a lot of different ways, for leadership on key issues as Senator Larry Groom from Berkeley.
All right.
I'll tell you, it sure is great to be here today. I drove up from Charleston this morning, and I did so because I wanted to support a good guy. I'm going to tell you, Lee Bright is the guy. He is. Now, there are politicians that have positions. Everybody's got positions on issues, but too few politicians have principles. Lee's got principles. members of the GOP don't stand on principle. They take positions, and those positions weaken our ability to make fundamental change in South Carolina. To tell you the truth, I'm sick of it, and I want to make sure we get people elected to the Senate that are going to have principles, that are going to stand on what is right. And we can make a difference. I want to make a difference, and I'm sure you do too. And that's why I'd encourage you to vote for Lee Bright. I almost forgot. I'm going to hand it off to another conservative, another reform-minded senator, someone else who's fought for change from the moment he's been elected. That's my dear friend, Kevin Bryant.
Good morning. As the Republican-controlled Congress spent money like drunken sailors, the people, the Republicans of South Carolina, are fed up with that kind of behavior. The people of South Carolina, Republicans in Spartanburg, are fed up when you go to the gas pump and your gas is nearly $4 a gallon. Republicans in Spartanburg are fed up with every nickel and dime of your money being recklessly spent in Columbia. Lee Bright is a reformer. Those of us who are reform in the South Carolina Senate, our momentum is growing. A lot of Governor Sanford's restructuring reform ideas get stalled in the South Carolina Senate. We're asking Republicans in Spartanburg to send Lee Bright to assist those of us reformers in the South Carolina Senate. Another thing I want to mention to Republicans in Spartanburg, the rules of the Senate go by the alphabet. Lee Bright will be the top of his class when elected in the South Carolina Senate. My name is Bryant. I was at the top of my class when I was elected. I was fortunate to get to Finance Committee and represent Anderson County on the Finance Committee. It's unusual for a freshman to get to finance. So when we choose committees next year, Lee Bright will be the first member of his class to choose which committees he can better serve Republicans in Spartanburg. And I ask one more time, Republicans, you need to send Lee Bright to the South Carolina Senate. Now I'm going to hand over to my good friend Eric Bedingfield, the representative from the South Carolina House.
Thank you very much for letting me be here today. I'm here today for two reasons. One, I'm here to support the fact that my governor came here yesterday to support Lee Bright, and I'm here to support the man I know as Lee Bright, who will definitely be a shining light for Spartanburg in the South Carolina Senate. When we gather together in Columbia to try to change the ideals of government spending, we need help. We need folks like Lee Bright who are going to be down there with us to fight the pork barrel spending and the wasteful spending of government. I'm here today to support that measure. I'm here today to support my friend Lee Bright, and thank you for letting me be here.
Well, I just want to thank again all of you for being out here today, and my friends from down in the legislature for coming out. It's great to be have like-minded people to fight the battles together, and I'm looking forward to going down to Columbia and giving these gentlemen some help and helping Governor Sanford. I appreciate LB and his effort in the campaign and his help to us, and we're going to work hard, and we plan to win this thing next Tuesday, and if you'll fight with us, we'll change South Carolina.